This is Radio Free Cybertron, episode 720. I'm Brian Kilby, and we love Transformers. Usually, anyway.
What when they come?
Oh.
So if it's 720, does that mean we're in like
720p mode?
Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, we broadcast in 720p.
Yeah, because it's not worth it to try to broadcast in 1080.
No.
And
Even
just so no one's shocked, this is episode 720. Diecast still hasn't got his Unicron.
Yeah. Diecast does not have his Unicron.
Okay, so maybe we should like take up a betting pool for what episode number it will be the first episode after he receives his Unicron.
I like it.
Yeah.
I'm going to say 723.
723. Well, I will have my Unicron next week.
I'm going to go with 725.
Ah, the pessimist of the group.
And
726. I'll be the pessimist. And honestly, I just want it to be longer until he gets it because I'm enjoying this.
Joe Bot is saying episode 920, which is sounding more accurate to me.
All right, who's going to bid $1?
I bid $1.
Yeah.
Thank you, Don.
By
Nice.
920, I won't have any hair left.
So also, I should
Is your
have
hair receding, Diecast? It doesn't look like it.
I should
No,
have
but I'll pull it out.
something Unicron adjacent also to go with my Unicron next week, and I'm excited about.
Oh, look what Ness put in the Discord.
This diecast is transformed infinite number of days without a Unicron.
Transformered infinite number of days, but yeah.
Oh yeah, transformed.
It took me reading it a couple times too to pick up on that.
I think my order date was July 18th. Does that
Yes,
sound right?
yeah, that's the date you've brought up the last like 3 times we've had this conversation.
Yeah.
Yeah, Rick is saying episode 666. That was a while ago. Yeah.
Oh, that'd be appropriate otherwise. What about
That was
766?
when we go back around again.
Oh no,
Eventually we'll start over.
episode 777 will be Diecast lucky number.
Oh yeah. Hey, so next weekend is going to be next Friday. Not this coming Friday, but the next will be the Hasbro Pulse live stream event. So they'll have some announcements and such. Hopefully we don't already know what everything is. But so we'll have like an extra episode next week to go along with whatever the update has. So Nathan is saying, Brian, since you are the emperor of energy drinks, you have a Mountain Dew Rise with you. No, I just finished off a Monster Hydro, and I don't really count it, but half a can of Pepsi Zero Sugar here, and a can of Ball's root beer. So
I saw Mountain Dew Rise when I was doing the grocery shopping this week, and I was fascinated, but also did not see a flavor I actually thought sounded good.
I don't know Rise. My local Sheets on the fountain has Atomic Blue, which looks gross.
Yeah, that looks gross. I mean, none of them look appealing to me, as I said, but
The watermelon's good. I didn't like it the first time I tried it. The second time I tried it, it was pretty ballin'.
Joe Bot in the chat, tfradio.net/discord, wanted to know, could they announce the arc? I believe they will.
I'm certain they will.
And I believe
Yeah,
we
they
will
will.
see all of the arc, which I am
Yeah.
super excited about. Hopefully it doesn't leak.
Yeah, because it's only going to be 4 or 5 months until they're selling the art.
Yeah.
So
less actually, probably because I got Scorponok in June last year, I think, and
Oh,
Omega
yeah.
Supreme through the same channels was available like about the same time the year before.
I feel like I didn't get the Omega Supreme till late.
Yeah.
Well, okay, so at the time we weren't paying attention to the Canadian track on this stuff, so if we had been, probably more of us would have taken the opportunity last year. Or year before last, sorry. Time. What are you even anymore?
Yeah.
I think
the
the
fire
arc is,
in which we burn.
Thank you.
I think the arc is my most anticipated Titan figure ever.
What?
Yeah.
What?
Like, just because it's so different and interesting.
Okay.
I might feel differently after I see it, but right now the anticipation for that Titan figure is high.
Yeah, it's just the anticipation.
The only one I was really anticipating was Metroplex, and it's kind of all been downhill. Not literally, but figuratively since then.
Do you like Metroplex?
No.
Because I can't stand
I
it.
mean, I liked him at the time.
Metroplex and Fortress Maximus are both just disappointing.
Yeah,
They are.
In hindsight.
But like after you have the first one, the rest of them is just. I mean, yeah, they're not as special, at this point. So.
I don't know. The Scorponok's been pretty special.
Well,
Yeah, I think I'm most
Omega
satisfied with
Supremes, they're just really
Scorponok
good.
out of all the ones I've got.
I know he's the best, but like the wow factor of wow, I can't believe there's a Transformer this big. Like how awesome it is. I mean,
Well, the thing is, I never liked that Fortress Maximus was one of the biggest disappointments I ever bought.
we know.
The only reason I'm not disappointed in owning it now is because I have a Scorponok to go with it. Other than that,
Yeah.
that's the only redeeming factor for Fortress Maximus is now there's a Scorponok to go with it, and that's it.
I like Trypticon. He eats Titan Master heads. I mean, that's just great.
That is pretty sweet. And there's that
Trypticon is
poster.
great, yes.
I do love a good like thematic play gimmick. Yeah.
Yeah.
And lots of people
yeah.
don't count the combiners. If you count the combiners,
Mhm.
I still like Devastator, obviously. I think he's pretty
Yeah.
cool.
Devastator's
With his weird
a
foot.
great. Yeah, Devastator's a great display piece in combined mode. The
with upgrades.
the Constructicons themselves more just exist as a kind of novel bonus, I think.
Yeah. Okay. Let's
Well, speaking of Titans, though,
let's go ahead and jump to the news. So everything
Thank
is
you.
bundled nicely into RSC News Desk 136.
it saves you some time looking.
It does.
For it.
I don't have to click around. So I'll cover these in reverse order, basically. Yesterday, all of a sudden, out of the blue, like Zavi.com sent out an email saying to, I guess, folks in the UK or Europe saying, hey, Black Zarak's coming out. You're going to be able to pre-order it. And then, like, 40 minutes later, it was basically up for pre-order everywhere.
Yeah, I think they got their time zones a little bit off.
Yeah.
I forgot about daylight savings time.
It's
I envy them.
Yeah, it's nice. So he is a retool of Scorponok, of course, with a new
Retool?
what
Retool.
retool.
Call that a retool?
Yes.
The head is pretty heavily retooled, yeah.
That's
Yeah.
it.
Well, I mean, that's a retool.
That's
Yep.
all. It
Literally
needs to
what a
be
retool
retooled.
means.
I mean,
Well, it's a headmaster, so technically the head is its own figure.
And it's a retool. So I
Oh,
don't know what
the
you're
head.
talking about.
Or it's a bigger figure.
Diecast, you're splitting hairs. You're splitting
I don't.
hairs.
What I'm curious about is why Diecast is trying to diminish this.
Oh, I'm not.
He's
I'm
been
just-
he's been
I'm just-
collecting Transformers for 5 minutes. He doesn't know what this actually is. So diecast. So Black Zarak was a major character in a series called Masterforce that was in Japan. After
Do I live in-
Transformers ended in
did
the
I
United
live in
States,
Japan?
it continued on in Japan in a separate form. There was a series called Headmasters that was followed up by Masterforce. Masterforce is a really good series that is considered probably the pinnacle of the Japanese Transformers G1 series.
It is.
Yes.
No, I love
Wow.
this. I love this.
Great
I just find this a stretch to call it a retool.
It's a retool.
but
The
Yeah,
head
I
is
mean,
mom and dad are
massively
fighting.
different.
Realistically speaking, we've gotten things that we are fine calling retools that have had proportionally the same amount of retooling, but in terms of just mass, nowhere near this amount. So yeah, it's a retool.
I mean, this looks to me like everyone once we got Black Rorichi, everyone was saying that
I wasn't saying it. I
a
Didn't
lot of
believe it.
people were saying, "Oh, they're going to do Black Zarak. They're going to do Black Zarak," and they're like, "No, we have no plans for Black Zarak." And this is finally looks like, man, everyone keeps asking for this Black Zarak,
Yeah.
and they think we're going to do it. Let's just put a new head and give him a sword, and there
Spear.
you go.
Fear.
Yes.
Fear.
Yes.
Spear.
Well,
That's a
yeah,
retool.
yeah.
It
I mean,
is.
and the fact that we're getting Black Zarak gives me some hope. Again, this is even more niche, and I believe I did put this in our predictions.
You
I'm
did,
just
Don.
pointing this out that I did put this in our predictions.
and I called BS. I did not think this was going to come out at all.
Right. But this does give me hope that maybe we'll see Omega Supreme at some if they're going,
No.
I told you guys not to question Don's powers anymore after Masterpiece RC. So
I mean, I love that they're doing this. I love that they're throwing it in the Generation Selects line, which is like We've never had a Titan figure in the Generation Selects line. We've never had anything above leader. I mean, but there's really only,
Commander.
Well,
Commander
this is the first Titan reissue. I guess. I mean, not giving credit to what Diecast is saying, it's still a retool, but it's still the first, second.
No, the biggest.
Well, Grand Maximus was the first, second.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I forgot about Grand Maximus. I'm sorry.
So
But
the
it's Hasbro's first
Yeah.
time reusing a Titan mold.
the
this way.
big question that popped up, though, I think it was Jason Murray on Twitter, had asked, is it going to come in a giant Transformer Selects box?
I would assume.
Oh, it better.
I hope so.
Big generic box.
So since Hasbro's reaching into Masterforce with Black Zarak, is now a good time to ask Hasbro about Guard City and Battle Gaia, because those
wasn't
Combiner Wars
Masterforce.
molds still exist.
Why not?
I'll see what I can. I'll write a polite letter and see what they can do.
Yeah.
Or just
Thank you.
write it into your predictions for these of these
yes.
days on. That should have the same effect. Anyway, I guess in lieu of Brian ordering anything during the show, I will go ahead and place my pre-order for Black Zarak during
Yay!
the show, and
Hooray.
that'll account for that in some way for the drinking game, I guess.
Yeah. Like,
So,
and you have lots of time to cancel since we have to wait till January.
yeah.
I'm not gonna cancel it unless they have like a major financial disaster between now and then. But I will support in whatever way I can the reuse of the Titan class mold, just because there is some other stuff I would like to see happen. Not an Omega Scream, although I certainly appreciate the spirit behind that. But like an Omega Sentinel, I would buy that. That's a really pretty deco.
I would buy two
Oh,
of
yeah.
those.
So,
I'm
Yeah.
not going to commit to buying multiples of Titan redecos.
So-
Oh my
but-
god, a 2-pack Omega Sentinels like they did for Breakdown and Viacon.
nice.
One giant
No, dear.
2-pack.
Yeah, because Chris is buying something and I didn't. I will point out 2 minutes before the show started, I bought a quote unquote Euro G1 exclusive toy that I've been wanting for a while from
Well, this
Italy.
should be interesting when that arrives.
Yeah, so
Can we get a
But
Metro Titan too?
I mean, I'd be on board with that. I never got Metroplex, the normal Metroplex, so that would be kind of weird to just have the recolor in the collection. But like, I would be into that too. I don't know if I would go for like a Brave Maximus if they did that, but I find that to be pretty unlikely anyway.
Yeah.
Metroplex and Fortress Maximus are so those molds are so old now, and
Yeah.
the engineering on the Titans have come so far. I would hope for new versions before we get into weird repaints.
Yeah, I agree.
Well, with the skeleton there from Metroplex and Fortress Maximus, could they doctor it up a little bit to make it better without going a full new mold?
Once upon a time, I would have just blanket said no to that question, Don. But like, things are so different than what we ever learned about how Transformers are made. Like, a lot of it still applies, but they're always surprising us with new things they seem to be able to do with these toys. So, like,
Well,
it doesn't
I mean,
feel like something I can just say no to anymore.
But part of the sturdiness of those toys was one of your major drawbacks, Don. So
yeah,
I would prefer them starting from the ground
Oh,
up.
I do too. It's just in the fact that if we wanted the character, do we pick a slightly better, more solid figure, and we get the figure, then we wait possibly never in the new mold and the better version. So it's kind of a tit for tat kind of thing. It's just it was that's why I didn't buy Metroplex and I bought Utopia, which is
you made the wrong decision.
But it's a better looking Metroplex to me.
Yeah, I actually have to agree with Don here in terms of the looks, just because like Utopia is more what I expect Metroplex to look like versus the redesign that was done specifically for Metroplex to be a Fall of Cybertron version.
Is Dystopia still in clearance for like $200?
No, I don't think so.
It was for like 3 years.
Mm-hmm. Now, do you want one, Brian?
No.
Mm-hmm.
So, eventually actually getting a legit G1 Metro Titan, cured me of that. So,
Yeah, that makes sense.
okay. Let's see here. Lots of other stuff happened. So, other
And
things.
there's one thing I even forgot to put in here, but we'll talk about that afterward.
So the there's no photos, of course, so we'll just talk about it.
Right.
Basically, we learned that Masterpiece Raiden is still in the works. It's scales with Combiner Wars, and
Yeah, we
Which is
called
what we
that.
thought.
we assumed, yeah. So that'll be interesting. Can't wait to get our hands on that. Was there like any type of expectation provided as to when that might be, Chris?
No.
Okay.
So what this comes from is the latest issue of Figure King magazine, and in the 4 to 6 pages of Transformers content they typically have every month. This is just from a text portion of the article where they're talking with one of the designers, and basically he just kind of let slip during the interview or whatever that there's a couple other things they're working on in addition to what was pictured in the article, which I'm sure we'll talk about momentarily here. So confirming that Raiden is still being worked on and is like back in active development right now is one of the things. And the other thing is something that's probably of specific interest to Diecast and then secondarily Don.
Don, do
I
you not
thought
know
it-
about this?
I thought the rumors were fake for a while.
No, so
I'm behind on the news, so I have no idea what you're talking about.
Well, we're
I was
talking about
able
the news. This is the news.
I was
Well, I
able
mean-
to read a little bit of the text of that myself, and I was able to get the rest I needed from machine translation and 20 years of skill at reading Babelfish. So what they're working on alongside Raiden right now is Masterpiece Skyfire.
Wait, was it Skyfire or Jetfire?
Skyfire,
Skyfire.
Oh, that's so weird.
which
Not
is great.
really.
Well, I mean, if they want to avoid the whole thing with Bandai
Gold,
and,
yeah.
Macross, yeah.
Yeah, so like obviously this is going to be based on the cartoon appearance, just like the Commander class toy is. And in terms of the name being used, the Masterpiece line has stuck with using the original G1 naming and not the globalized names that the other product lines in Japan have moved to since the movies came and went. So yeah, they're working on Skyfire, which I'm actually a little surprised by because of the legal issues. In the original run of the G1 cartoon in Japan, they actually pulled all of Skyfire's episodes from the run order and they put them at the end of the series, or the end of the first 2 seasons anyway. I don't think they put them at the end of 2010.
Yeah.
But that was because even though Skyfire's character model was so far removed from a Valkyrie, from the Jetfire toy that was sold by Hasbro, and therefore the Macross jets that were being sold in Japan at the time by their competitor, like they still wanted to have as much distance from that as possible and not give it any more visibility time than they could. I would assume with the Commander class toy being almost 2 years old now, which is just weird to think about that much time has passed, Takara Tomy is probably not feeling quite the same way about that design as a marketable thing anymore. I think that helped to probably open the door for doing a Masterpiece. What's going to be kind of a thing with this, though, is Skyfire is very big.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Skyfire is a big boy, and Masterpiece is already kind of getting up there in price for things that are just like arguably normal size.
I mean,
So-
RC was running 150. Beast Wars, Dinobot, and Megatron was 250 to 350 through there.
Just for the size of this thing, it's going to be MP44 price.
Yeah,
Oh,
and then-
yeah.
I think it's gonna be higher.
Yeah.
Probably.
And
Oh, and I'm gonna have to buy it.
and we'll see. And here's
No,
the
you're going to have
thing.
to buy 2 diecast.
Yep.
Yeah.
One for each mode.
And I'll be honest, I know Brian is not big on third party, and I understand that's
I
what
actually
he's on.
have like 2 third-party toys pre-ordered right now,
Right.
Don. Believe it or not.
Wow. But it's just if that Skyfire is running MP44 prices with the QC issues we've been seeing pop up overall as a whole throughout the Masterpiece line since the last 3 years is when the stuff has really been getting more noticeable QC issues. People are not going to spend that kind of money if Fans Toys Phoenix is still out there and looks as good as it does. So they're going to have to either make it visually and feature laden enough to justify, because MP44 I do not think justified the price point.
Don, can you restate your premise? Because I missed it.
I'm sorry.
No,
I'm
no,
sorry.
no. It was me, not you.
I'm sorry. I'm just saying that if this thing is as expensive as MP44, and they don't have the value in that figure from an engineering quality standpoint, an accessory standpoint, and everything else that would make it worth as a package deal, MP44 prices, your MP people are not going to spend that money when they can get a great looking figure in the Fans Toys Phoenix.
Honestly, I would say there's just as many people who would just live without it, because I mean, there's a lot of people who just don't do third party.
Right, but I'm just saying that Takara is going to have to, if the price is up there, they're going to have to make it worth the money, other than just, here's a big figure, give us a bunch of money. Because 44, I don't think it was worth the money.
I mean, honestly,
you're not alone in thinking that either.
It feels like that's half the point of Masterpiece at this point, that it's just not worth the money. And it's like a status symbol.
Well, yeah, no, and at some point in the last 2 years, I made this point too, that I think they're trying to make Masterpiece into Hot Toys, basically, for Transformers.
I think you're right.
Yeah, unfortunately.
It's just, I want this to succeed because I know that's a figure that would fill a lot of gaps on a lot of Masterpiece collectors' collections. But at that price point, if they do not hit the engineering quality and they don't have enough built-in features and accessories to give you the perceived value, it's going to be another nail in the coffin for Masterpiece, another overpriced figure that the quality isn't there, that they want 10%, 15, 20% more than the figure is worth.
So I know this is, we're not talking about the validity of Masterpiece. We're trying to get to the news, but I do want to point this out. I'm the guy who always rags on third party. I will say, when I'm randomly going through my boxes of Transformers, sometimes if I see MP44, I will confuse it with the Magic Square figure that I got from Diecast for a quarter of what I paid for the MP44. So
MP44 is just mismarketing.
Yeah.
And I'll restate my position on that from the last time we talked about this in depth. Like, MP44 should have just been Optimus Prime, the robot and truck cab, and the trailer part should have been a Takara Mall exclusive that you could purchase separately if that was important to you, because that would keep the actual main product line item more restricted, reasonable in price, and not make the whole thing look so stupid.
Or they could have done it like they did Grand Maximus, and if you bought MP44 and you want the trailer, we'll do this same thing we did for Grand Maximus. If we hit the minimum order threshold, we'll make it.
Or that we could just talk about the next news item. So Masterpiece Skids, we have a photo of that. Plus, in color,
that's the important thing.
In color, but also with its first retool, which is based on the Diaclone version.
One of the Diaclone versions. There's
version.
6 different Diaclone variants, including what became Skids and Crosscut.
It's the head. The head, though, is not based on, because it's the same head, right? From the Diaclone toy, the heads match the G1 toy.
It's probably the same kind of Diaclone head that Crosscut had or would have had.
Yeah, so
the head looks like Optimus Prime.
That's what everybody's saying,
Yeah, the colors and the vague shape of the head, it does have a resemblance to Optimus Prime. That's completely coincidental, because the Diaclone toy this is based on has this deco, and the Diaclone Skids head looks basically like this. So this is a newly minted character called Reboost. This is based on the Honda City R, whereas Skids is a Honda City Turbo. And Kojin Ono apparently owned a Honda City R in days gone past, and that's part of the reason that this is the first reuse of the Skids tooling instead of Crosscut, because it's his car.
I love that.
Yeah. That's pretty cool. It's the same thing up there for me as Generations 2014 RC, having its engineering based on that BotCon Japan 97 custom art entry, because the same person designed both of them. So these are both hand-painted samples of this Masterpiece. It's very obvious if you look closely at these pictures, that like you can actually see brush strokes on some parts of them. So these are hand painted test shots right now. So there may be some variance in what the production pieces will look like, but like this looks really good.
Yeah.
Yep.
It does, and I'll be honest. I'm probably the only one that's going to say this. That red Reboost version, I am getting so much Alternity Prime vibes.
Yeah, I mean, I understand
off that face and that look.
Yeah, I can
I get that,
understand
Don.
that. So Reboost is supposed to come with the little scooter accessory that the Diaclone Skids
Nice.
had.
Awesome.
Skids itself, as far as we know, is not going to have that, so that'll be exclusive to at least one of the redeco / retool variants. I'm sure a crosscut's going to come from this at some point down the line, because like they're not going to pass up a chance to get more mileage out of this. And again, there's more Diaclone alternate decos for the
like-
Honda City series.
Yeah, they probably won't do both of the red versions because
Probably not.
like one was red on red while this one was red on blue. But I mean, there was a black Honda City
black
Turbo, I believe. Yeah, so
Yeah, and that one actually has a Transformer name already. That's not Lipstick, it's the other one.
Burnout.
Burnout, thank you. So that was from BotCon 2015 that actually got name and Transformers characterization.
You know, I'm probably, depending on the price, but I'm probably going to skip Skids because I've got Savant from X-Transbots that I think is, other than the face is not quite right, it's still a very good looking Skids. But I definitely will be getting Reboost like I did with Corden, so that way I can at least get a copy of the mold, and it would be different enough from the Savant to have them both stand out on the shelf. But
Cool. It makes sense to me. I mean,
Like I will at least get the Diaclone versions of this to go with, my Diaclone Masterpiece. I'll probably get Skids too. But
yeah, I mean, okay, so it's going to obviously depend on the price point if I am willing to go in on this or not. But like, yeah, I'm definitely considering Reboost because that's interesting on a few levels and that looks pretty nice. So we've been talking before, theorizing that Skids might be representing a shift in direction overall for Masterpiece, and
hoping
yeah, that may or may not actually be what's going on. So 2022, as best I can piece together, is the 40th anniversary of Diaclone Car Robot. And Don, why are you smiling?
best Optimus Prime figure ever outside Masterpiece. We need a new one.
Oh, okay.
That's a different car robot, Don.
Yeah.
This is the car robot that actually is the immediate precursor of G1, not
1982.
I'm sorry. Diaclone. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
I agree. Your G1 Optimus Prime is the best Optimus Prime.
I heard car robot. I'm sorry. I heard
Convoy,
car.
yes.
So it's looking
robot.
like there's three active factors at work here, with the Skids mold family not being in the same style as most Masterpiece for the last several years. So one is that Diaclone anniversary, where this would be acknowledging that to some degree. The other is I've learned that the Honda City is actually, or was, a fairly popular car in Japan in its time and is still like well thought of by people who had that experience. And the other thing is Skids had almost no presence in the cartoon, so there's not much point to trying to make it look like a cartoon model. So it kind of fits if they want to acknowledge these other two factors. And like Honda in Japan seems to be really into this Masterpiece too, because our first look at a test shot of it was tweeted by Honda Japan's Twitter account before the Figure King issue with it came out. So like there's a lot of hands being held here that I think are leading to this being a specific different thing that's going on. And it probably maybe sadly won't indicate that all Masterpiece going forward from this are going to be done this way. Especially I think learning that Skyfire is in the works, because they're not going to move away from cartoon accuracy with that. Especially
they're definitely going to lean in hard.
Yeah, especially since they're doing a
cartoon.
new Starscream, they're going to want those to be stylistically matched to be able to, pose for scenes together. As for, what Masterpiece in the second half of 2022 ends up looking like is a completely different question, and it probably will depend somewhat on the response to Skids. especially if there's a different price point that's available for this because of how they're designing it. So there's still factors at work. Things could still change, but I think it's probably important that we dial back the hopes and dreams that Skids represents a turning point that will make Masterpiece be more what we want it to be again. And by we, I mean the general we. Obviously, there's plenty of people who are, satisfied with the cartoon slavishness.
So weird.
I'm just not one of them.
Yeah. Okay, let's see here. Also in the news, there's Ranger Puffer. That was something.
And Pterosaur.
And Pterosaur, yeah. So let me see if I remember correctly. Your speculation was we don't have a clue what Pterosaur is going to be based on.
Correct. It's a deluxe, and that's the only thing that we can get from this so far. So both of these entries are for something called the Golden Disc Collection, which seems like it's probably going to be this year's Galactic Odyssey series on Amazon.
Oh, yeah.
So Ranger Puffer is complicated-ish. So through various factors we can derive from this, it's a deluxe 2-pack. And Ranger Puffer is a very unfortunate shorthand for the two toys that are included. So Ranger is almost certainly Road Ranger, the GoBots character that was adapted in the eHobby GoBots mini vehicles set as a black and orange Huffer. Puffer is very unfortunate fan terminology for Mexican and European pipes colored Huffers.
Yeah.
So it's the pipes and Huffer version of like what we originally believed Bumble Jumper was, until like we actually realized that Bumble Jumper was its own unique mold. But no, Puffer is just a Huffer in pipes colors. There's 3 variations. Much thanks to Maz's website for some of the research material on this, because like I would have no idea where else to find this kind of information. So there is 2 variants released in Mexico. One was a dark blue on white, and the other is dark blue on dark blue. The European variant came out in a light blue on white, which to me is the best looking one, but we don't know which of these 3 variants it'll be, but probably one of the white bodied ones.
I would have to imagine it'd be like the lighter blue with the white, because if they're going to do pipes off of this mold, they're not going to want to release 2 toys that are essentially the same thing. So they'll want to have whatever kind of color differentiation they can.
Except that if this is going to be an Amazon release, Pipes is coming out in the normal retail line, best I can recall. So they're not going to be beside each other competing. And this is a 2-pack with Road Ranger. So if people want their GoBots nod, they're going to buy their Puffer also. So I mean, I don't think you're wrong, but I also don't think it's a critical factor in what deco they would end up choosing. But yeah, so with an actual Pipes coming out, this does most likely mean that both of the, like this 2-pack is going to be just 2 unmodified Kingdom Huffers in different colors, which is weird-ish, but what are you going to do? So Jacob is in the Discord asking, couldn't Pterosaur be a remold of Airraiser? Remold, no, but shared engineering, maybe. So the way Pterosaur always transformed was basically backwards, with the pterodactyl head ending up on the back and the tail being the chest piece. If you turned Airraiser backwards, you could probably use the same base engineering, just with 100% new parts, and that's certainly something that is within their ability to do, and it's just going to be waiting to see if they actually go to that length with it. But again, like, I don't know what else they could do. There are redecos that they could get out of a Pterosaur mold if they wanted to just go new mold with this, and then get their investment back over the next 18 months after this, running it in selects or as case filler in the next generation's line after Kingdom. But unfortunately, like, there's not really anything we can latch onto here to try to toy detect past what we were already thinking.
Yeah, I can already see a selects would be the Pterosaurus fractal and the Rat Trap be redone as Pack Rat in a 2-pack to homage.
Yeah,
the
that'd be a good
Botron
select
set.
2-pack.
Yeah, I mean that would be the kind of deep cut I would expect from this Transformers team.
So, just real quick, thinking I was looking to see if I could find a puffer on eBay. I cannot. But what I have found is that the Chinese KOs of Bumble Jumper are out there. They're trying to sell them as new, and they're $140 on card.
Pardon me?
Yeah. That's shady. $140, more than 10 available. Screw you. Sorry, that was an aside.
All right.
Yeah. Gosh, is there anything? What else to scrape from this news item? Was there anything else?
I don't think so.
Some pictures of Unicron.
Which I'm having mine Friday. If you want to drive down Diecast, you can play with it.
Oh yeah, so the Figure King article does have some photos of Unicron, which is not really newsworthy at this point since most everybody has them in hand now. And there's Commander Class Rodimus in there too, which has some new things we hadn't seen before, like the Matrix compartment in the chest. But for the most part, it's not that topical newsworthy.
Yeah.
You missed the
Nice
best
footnote,
one,
though.
the Transformers crossover with Top Gun.
Yeah.
That's a fine looking Transformer.
On the other hand, though, Rodimus Prime does, when the trailer is not in battle station mode, the back can open up and a ramp fold out so you can put cars inside him like he's Optimus Prime.
That's
I
neat.
hope that trailer is tall enough to put core class Optimus Prime in Rodimus Prime's trailer.
That'd be great.
But wasn't he supposed to be like a Winnebago? So why would you put
Not
a car in
not officially a
Winnebago?
Winnebago, no.
Okay.
He's a battle wagon. For whatever that is.
Okay.
Yeah, just like a racing trailer kind of thing.
Yeah. So GameStop has up for pre-order from GeekNet a replica helmet of G1 Optimus Prime for $130. And it has live electronics and stuff in it. And if you don't have an Optimus Prime helmet so far, you can get one.
Well, I have a
movie one.
A movie one, but I do not have.
I need
a
yellow
G1.
eyes.
Yeah.
I just it was, yeah. I mean, it could have had yellow eyes, but it was definitely not deterring me from pre-ordering it.
I mean,
Yeah, I don't need this.
Nice enough. The thing it's missing though is voice changer.
Well, it's gonna have voice clips.
That's not the same.
So the voice changer
unless
Peter
unless one of those clips is I am Optimus Prime.
So the voice changer that Peter Cullen uses is called Marlboro Reds, and he's been using them for years. So I do not recommend that.
So if
think
it's
this
a
should have-
G1, it's not
this should
going to
have-
say, "Give me your face."
No, this should
Correct.
have voice clips from City of Steel when Optimus Prime gets decapitated.
Yes. Yes.
This would look nice on a shelf. So does it have a display stand with it?
I think that's the point. Like these are supposed to be display pieces, but they're also wearable for us.
I'm certain my head's too big for this thing.
Yeah, I'm
Nah.
kind of thinking the same thing because like the movie Optimus helmet, which is designed with like adjustable straps and a big open back on it to make it as universal as possible, barely fits on me properly.
Yeah,
I also can't really wear hats.
I can wear hats.
Well, baseball cap with an adjustable thing on it, sure, but like, yeah, that would work better if you didn't have the headset on, wouldn't it?
It would. Okay. Anything else news wise?
Yeah, no, I can't think of anything off the top of my head. I'm glad I remembered that helmet because I realized yesterday after I did the news desk update that I forgot to mention that too. But that ended up being like close to 9 minutes as it was, so that's probably for the best.
Hey, anybody get anything, John?
I did
Yes.
get something. You want me to kick this off?
Please.
All right. So I did actually get Unicron. Let's see, real quick. Did I get anything else?
Diecast Spirit is leaving his body right now for those not watching video.
So yeah, check the box next to my name on the show. So Unicron's been opened, and it's okay. So where to begin? I knew it was going to be big, and yeah, I like everybody on the internet says, cameras and photography and stuff do tend to shrink him. And yeah, he's completely massive, and he's so big that the shipping box serves as an apartment for my 7-year-old daughter now. So she set up her trash can and a pillow inside it, and she drew a mural on one side of the shipping box, and she's happy as a clam in it. So the actual toy, though, it took me over an hour to complete the planet mode, and I don't think that is actually unheard of. A lot of people have commented that due to the size and physics of him, he's a shell former, I hate to tell you, but like wrestling something that big is quite the undertaking. And there's quite a bit of assembly like out of the box to like finish the planet mode. And the instructions are, they try really hard, but you know, they forget, like right off the bat, they're like missing actually how to mount him to the stand in planet mode. You have to like jump to the last page and like retro, you know, like go backwards in the instructions, literally from the last page, to figure out how to do the first thing that you're supposed to do with him. So, you know, thanks to the internet, I knew how to do that. Still took an hour to wrestle all the panels and stuff into planet mode. He's really nice in planet mode. In fact, I'm not in a hurry to transform him to robot mode. So he's going to stay in planet mode for at least a couple weeks, I think. I don't mind. Let me start over. I understand the blue maw and the blue teeth and Unicron. Now that I have him, I completely I get him. He and I have come to an understanding, and that understanding is he is what Hasbro told us from the beginning. He's a War for Cybertron toy. He's branded War for Cybertron. He looks like a War for Cybertron toy. He has the little pegs on him to do the blast effects. He's a War for Cybertron toy. He just happens to be ginormous, and he's very impressive. But you know, he's nothing more than that, and that's okay. But obviously, that's not what was kind of like initially presented to us in certain ways. But he is like this just huge, massive, super impressive in size and scope Titan War for Cybertron toy. That's what he is. So anyway, so you know, I accept him. And so like when you kind of like look at him through that lens, like, yeah, he makes perfect sense. So, you know, I guess like overall I'm happy. Overall, I would say I'm happy with Unicron. I'm so like I guess satisfied with the planet mode overall that again, like I'm not in a huge hurry to transform him, which I think is a compliment to that mode. Also, just that Unicron in planet mode is just an interesting thing and kind of like a character in itself. But I will say I'm also going to be suspect of any HasLab Transformers project going forward because again, he's a ginormous kind of retail toy. Like he's a $500 retail toy. And I'm cool with that, but again, that's not really a HasLab thing. Anyway, you know, I'll report back when I transform him. You guys have probably already transformed yours, and you guys can comment on that. But you know,
What?
overall, I'm good. I mean, I'm cool with him. Like, you know, like I said, there's no way out you were going to have like simple reactions to something like this. It's a very complicated feeling that he gives you. But yeah, I would say the only thing, like again, my overall feeling on Unicron is positive. My only thing with him is again, yeah, he's a shell former, and at this size and this price, it is terrifying trying to get like the panels to line up and lock in place because you don't want to scrape it or damage it or anything. And it feels real close in certain situations. Like you're going to like do something really bad. And at this, like the stakes of transforming this thing are just too high. So I did not appreciate breaking a sweat, literally, trying to transform him. But
Wow.
Like I said, overall, I guess 2 thumbs up, I would say.
Cool. I'm excited. I'll have mine Friday.
Yes.
Friday.
Tell me now, Brian, when you open him
On Friday.
and you complete the plan
Friday.
mode.
Before Easter. So he's going to be like your Easter bunny this year.
Easter's
You're gonna
when
have
is
to tell
Easter?
me-
The 3rd?
Oh,
Okay.
man, you're asking the wrong crowd.
Yeah,
So
I have no idea.
I was going to say,
Sunday.
Brian,
This Sunday.
so
Of course.
one thing.
Oh, that
one
means the
thing that
Easter
I
candy
see-
will be on clearance on Monday.
And that's
Oh,
why
man.
I know.
Yes. Thank you,
high fives
Rob.
all around. One thing, Brian.
And knowing
you
is
gotta,
half the
tell us-
battle.
You gotta tell us when you get it, Brian, and you have to complete the plant mode. Like, how do you do that? Like, I sat in my computer chair, my office chair, and I had him. You know, he's a giant beach ball. I had him in my lap again for like 70 minutes, like wrestling with him. There's no good way to like hold him. And I see like reviews on YouTube where they just like they just like throw him down on a table. Like he's a sphere. He's a 16-pound ball that's like hollow and was like $1 bajillion. People are throwing him down on a tabletop. And I'm horrified by that. So he sat in my lap for like 70 minutes. You have to tell me, like, how'd you do it? I'm interested.
Okay.
He's probably going to end up in your lap for, again, like an extended amount of time.
Okay. We'll see. I'll document it.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Diecast, what did you get? Did you get Unicron? Did he come this week? You're holding out on us.
I got the little starscream that you got.
Do you like it?
Yes.
So Don had no idea that it did everything it did. He wants to be on MGO's reviews and not on the podcast after we talked about it extensively last week.
No. I know you said he did a lot, but to see it done in combination with what you said really makes me want that figure now versus I'll wait and I'll see it. I mean, I knew you said it did a lot, but
He also showed us what it did as he was
okay,
explaining it.
I might have missed that part.
Don, I think like with that car robots thing from earlier, I think we realized that Don actually half pays attention during the show. So
no,
Well, I mean, you have to give him a break. He has passed, 50 years old, and the attention span's the first thing to go.
yeah,
Well,
He's
it's
gotta
not
pay
that. It's
more attention to TFYLP. So
he's probably on it right now and flipping back and forth.
Nice.
yeah. My computer can handle 2 podcasts at one time. I'm sure. No, I'm just very tired. I'll be honest, my attention is a little.
Oh, you're
After
getting married, Don. Oh, la dee da. Congratulations again, Don. That's awesome.
Thanks.
Yeah, how long are you gonna rely on that crutch, Don?
As long as I can.
Good.
So, Don, are you going to invite your Unicron to the wedding? Are you going to send it an invitation?
Will that be the ring
That's
bearer?
the
No.
best man.
Are you
No.
going to dress the cat in a small tuxedo?
Okay, actually, it's like I had thought about maybe somehow having Massey with a tray on his back with the flower petals, and I could walk him down with his leash. And I thought about this for 2 minutes and thought there is no way that is going to work. So the oddball thing. I'm probably gonna take a picture of Massey with his new little bow tie, and it'll be sitting like on one of the little tables there, so he'll be there for the wedding. But no, he can't be Flower Cat. It just will not work.
Cat.
I'm just
Yeah,
picturing a wedding cake with like a little sugar cat crawling up the side towards.
Oh yeah. Okay, Diecast, what you get?
It'd be appropriate.
You got Starscream. What else?
I got Starscream and I got the little Legends Megatron too.
What do you think of Megatron?
I didn't open him. I didn't care.
It looks nice in robot mode.
I did open Megatron.
What do you think?
Yeah, let's let Chris talk about it.
Yeah, Chris, go ahead.
Do you have
Well,
anything
yeah.
else, Diecast, or should we
no.
just go to me now?
No.
We're going to you.
Okay.
I'm gonna cry.
So I did open Megatron. Specifically, I wanted to make sure to open Megatron so I could refute your claims from last week.
Okay.
The robot mode, I think, is perfectly fine.
Yeah.
It's certainly the equal of Core Class Optimus Prime, which I was surprised by how much I liked when I got Wave 1, what feels like eons ago now.
I even love the finish on Megatron. I think the finish looks great.
Yes. Okay, so like the robot chest has like the perfect silver paint job on it. Mine's got a little scratch on one side, so it's more like a Netflix Megatron paint job. But what are you gonna do? But the arms are a flat gunmetal. The arms and the thighs are a flat gunmetal color, which looks really
beautiful.
good in contrast. The way the tones lay out here, it reminds me of the 2014 Legends Megatron, which had a darker color scheme than typical G1 Megatron. It was kind of supposed to more represent minor Megatron from IDW, but like it's got a similar contrast going on here. It has a really nice finish to it. The backpack is a little bit more unfortunate just because there's, the front half of a tank hanging off the back, but that's actually not that much worse than the Voyager Megatrons we've gotten in the last couple of years, so I can't even hold that against it that much. The transformation's interesting, and the tank mode is okay. It's obviously the weakest part of this just because it does not have a lot of structural strength from side to side. So it's really easy to get twisted out of alignment, and it's just kind of hard to get to click together well. But like, I actually do really like this, and the same way that Core Class Optimus was a really effective downscaling of Earthrise Optimus Prime, this is a really effective downscaling of Siege and Earthrise Megatron. I love the little pistol accessory.
The pistol accessory is great. Maybe it's just mine, but he feels kind of muddy. The joints don't feel that great, especially in the transformation, and it just feels like it really feels like a discount transformer when you in the transformation process. But it looks great.
Yeah, I don't really have that the discount store transformer feel with it, but like I can kind of get the muddiness just for that. A lot of stuff relies on writing tabs that themselves are writing on movable pieces.
Yeah.
It's not ideal, but it's not bad. The actually only real complaint I have, and this is sort of weird, the fusion cannon doesn't come off. It's mushroom pegged on.
Oh yeah.
Which I mean, it's good for making sure it's always there for use in the tank mode to attach the pistol to be the tank turret. And since it's a 5mm opening on the front of the cannon, you could actually put other accessories on there instead of the pistol if you wanted to. I saw someone on Twitter, I don't remember who, unfortunately, shared a picture of it with one of the booster cannon pieces from Cliffjumper or Bumblebee to give it a bigger, more substantial cannon in tank mode. So like that's a good option. Anything that's got like a 5mm peg on the end, you could reasonably use the same way. But no, I mean, I'm actually pretty happy with this, and it's not just to spite Brian. I mean, it started out that way, but I genuinely ended up liking it.
Cool.
Unfortunately, that's the only thing I had time to open, so the rest of this should go quickly. I will talk in more detail about some of this next week. So I also have Starscream, which looks very nice.
It does.
I would have opened him first. You made a mistake.
Well, no, I wanted to make sure to have an
diecast.
opinion on Megatron so I could, argue with Kilby for the show because it's good podcast content.
Yeah.
One thing I can say with Starscream without opening it, the photos I had seen made the torso look really flat and wide, and that was not a good look. But in person, it does not have that same problem. Like the three-dimensionality of it really brings the proportions more into focus. So if you've been kind of iffy on it just based on what the robot mode looks like, find one in a store and take a look at it and give it a second thought because like it looks pretty nice in person.
Hey, one question, and Chris, this is for all y'all. Are the hands just sticking out the front kind of as bad in person? Just, with them sort of... Oh, Starscream.
Well, I wouldn't know. I haven't opened and transformed mine.
No, it's not bad at all.
Okay. I mean, like, I didn't know, Chris, if you could tell while it's still in the package or not. It's just, from what pictures I've seen, it looks like they're just sort of, they don't fold up.
Oh no,
looks
they
like
don't fold up. I mean, they're solid. They're not even like Megatron's got the one that's sort of actually no yeah it'll swivel with the right hand on Megatron can swivel because it's part of how the transformation works, which is kind of clever actually. But I mean, Starscream's hands are fixed position.
Starscream is like Legends class figure of the year. Like
It's pretty
Well,
amazing.
it certainly seems like it got a lot of engineering attention. I also have Ractonite. I've got all of Deluxe Wave 2, so Air Razor.
Did you get RC?
By
I've
all
been
of
looking
Wave,
for those
I
everywhere.
was just about to correct myself. By all of Wave 2, I mean the new toys. And Huffer. So I got those. I had hoped to get these out of the package to talk about in detail for this week, but it just wasn't happening. The time and mental energy I would have spent on that ended up going to the news desk yesterday instead, so it'll just have to wait. Just in today, I got my latest non-F order, which is the Studio Series Grimlock upgrades. So basically, you can go two ways with this. There is a full kit, which is a crown, a clear chest piece replacement, and a sword, and some gap fillers. So the chest replacement comes in two options, which is colorless clear or semi-tinted. I got the semi-tinted option, which is basically if you think about how tinted the stock chest piece is on Grimlock, this is halfway between that and completely colorless. So based on the pictures that Non-F had available, I thought this looked like the best option for that. The sword comes in either all red to be toy accurate, or translucent orange with a black handle to be more like media or masterpiece, I guess, inspired. So the thing with that is you can also order a sword separately if you want different options, or if you just want to get the weapon add-on. So I got one fashion of sword in the whole kit and then ordered an extra one in the other, because as it turns out from pictures I saw, the red sword blade with the black handle actually looks really good. So I'm probably going to mix and match mine that way. And then the other parts are the crown, which is the mustardy gold part here, and the gap fillers. The gap fillers also include the partial plates for Grimlock, the tooth gap fillers. And I'm not sure if I'm going to end up using them. That's going to be a little bit of a process to put them in. The head has to be taken apart, and apparently the lower teeth actually have to be affixed with an adhesive patch that's included in here too. So I'm not sure if I'm going to go to all that effort for this, but I have the option if I want to. The only problem, and this was related in the order page, and I think on the Twitter account, the gray is not a perfect match to Grimlock, so it's got a little bit of variance, either darker or lighter. And even though I don't have Grimlock at hand right now to directly compare to, I can tell just looking at these are like noticeably darker than Grimlock's gray plastic. So for the teeth, I don't think that would make a huge difference in appearance, but for the gap fillers for the forearms, it would stand out a little bit. So we'll see how that ends up turning out when I actually go to apply some of these parts.
When is the third kit coming out that gives you a half a decent wheelie for the figure?
Well, you joke, but that is something that he has said is at least in consideration, is some kind of kit geared around wheelie, which I would assume probably just adds like posable limbs. But I don't have any specific information on it. He hasn't gone into any detail, and he has not committed to whether that kit's actually going to be produced or not, but it's something that's at least on the drawing board. So an interesting thing I found the other day, last week, sometime in the last little while, BotBots.
All right.
Which wave?
So this is Series 5.
Okay.
Gold Rush games. So these actually came from the grocery store. They were part of Kroger's Easter basket fillers. But since it was the first time I had seen BotBots on the store shelf in a while, I picked up a couple sets. So I got one. This is the Party Favors and the Cardio Click. So the Party Favors has the Sushi Dragon, the Party Blower. Also, both of these come with this really neat like desktop computer that looks like a really old computer setup. It's got the the flat tower, well, not tower, but the flat computer and the monitor sitting on top of it. I just kind of like the retro look of that. And there's a whoopee cushion in that one too, which I guess is kind of entertaining. But they were pretty close to original retail, which I guess for toys in the grocery store is itself kind of a savings. But for not having seen BotBots on the shelves in a while, it was just kind of fun to be able to pick some up. Then two off-topic things. So you might remember a week or two ago, Rob was talking about the Robot Damashi Robot Spirits Perfect Gundam from Amazon. So I ended up getting one too. Now, Rob, you paid about $58 for yours, right?
After shipping, yeah, that sounds about right.
So I only paid about $22 for mine. So the way that works, this is an Amazon warehouse item. So it was about $10 cheaper than the retail. And you can see probably on here the corners a little bit messed up. And the tape on one side was a little bit discolored and crinkled, but it was still attached when I got it. So I don't think this had actually been opened before, but I opened it up and checked, and all the contents are there, and everything's in good, unbroken shape. So $10 off the base price for this, and then I had $26 in Amazon credit built up, rewards points basically. So out of pocket on this, I was only $22 on the $60 Robot Damashi set, and it's got a lot of stuff in it, and it looks like it'd be really cool to photograph. I just have not had the wherewithal to actually take it out of the package fully yet and mess with it. But I'm glad Rob pointed that out, and I started paying attention to it so I could actually catch this for a pretty good deal. Unfortunately,
So basically,
the downside of this, though, is that I'll never be able to spend more than $22 for a Robot Damashi ever again.
Yeah.
So basically, it was a Mandarake slightly damaged packaging there. Versus when I got my Omega, the whole front half of the box was ripped open.
So yeah, Mandarake slightly damaged packaging mostly just means someone has touched it at some point in its life. This is a little bit worse off than that. Now, if you want something like your Omega Supreme, my other off-topic thing is this Call of Duty Mega Construx helicopter that arrived with a big hole in the front of it that I can actually slide my hand into.
Wow.
Damn you, Airwolf.
I opened this up and checked it. It looks like everything is in there and undamaged, but yeah, so thanks to Amazon shipping practices for that, apparently. So this was not particularly cheap or anything. This was normal-ish retail. The reason I picked this up is I heard recently that Call of Duty does not appear to be an active license with Mega Construx anymore. So I wanted to grab one of these while I still could without exorbitant markup, because it's hard to get Mega Construx kits online without them being hugely, ridiculously overpriced, like in the collector grade stuff. So I thought I'd go ahead and grab this. I just didn't think I'd be getting one with a giant hand-sized gash in the middle of it. But eventually that will come back off of the pile of unassembled Mega Construx kits and get built and displayed somewhere. I like the Call of Duty stuff they did has all been really nice from the ones I've built. All of them look really nice and have been more interesting to me than, say, the Halo range for the most part. But if it really is not going to be a thing anymore, I'm very sad to hear that, because they had good minifigures in that lineup, and again, good kits and a lot of variety. I guess whatever He-Man stuff they keep doing will probably hold my interest, but there's kind of getting to be less and less Mega Construx stuff, which I guess goes along with the less and less retail support for it. But I think that covers everything for me this week.
Cool. Don, did you get anything?
Yes, I did, and it was a very weird week. Could not find Wave 2 Kingdom. I've been checking Target every day because they have that sale going on, and they have nothing. My local Walmart got in Kingdom, Megatron, Magnus, and another case of Inferno and Dinobot, but nothing new. But my off topic has been all G.I. Joe, which is Very
What?
rare for me. Yeah, it is. It's I picked up the Cobra Commander. GameStop had their bag sale, so I took advantage of the bag sale. So I got the Cobra Commander. It was the last one they had there, and I don't even see this on the shelf anymore. So, I figured I better get it while I could. Picked up the new Baroness statue.
I had no idea that was a thing.
Yeah, because it's some pop culture shock. Because again, it's the Baroness, and the piece I really was not expecting to get, but because it looks so great, Serpentor.
Statue, same line.
Yeah. The pop culture shock.
Where did you say
statue.
you got that at Target?
GameStop.
Oh.
They had their bag sale for 25% off. So it just, again, I'm not the huge G.I. Joe fan, but these are some really impressive statues that I like. And I went ahead and also picked up two other ones. I had bought this before and taken it back because I saw pictures of the matching Optimus Prime, and the pictures did not make it look that great. But I bought the Megatron, the pop shop Megatron, because they also had the Optimus, and in person it looks a lot better than. Excuse me, Massey. It looks a lot better in person than. Get so much glare off of it there. So yeah, a lot of statues, which is usually odd for me, but at 25% off, and they look great. They had Starscream, Bumblebee, and Destro. It wasn't PDD Destro, so I didn't care about that. And the Starscream did not have the smirk. If it had the smirk on the face, it would have been a great looking Starscream. But he's doing this, like he just was not in a good mood or something.
That's called a scowl.
Yeah, and if he had the smirk, it would have been a great looking figure. And the Bumblebee had the same kind of scowl, and again, it was a very great looking G1 Bumblebee, but it looked, again, it was the scowl and Bumblebee. I figured if he had the regular Bumblebee kind of smile, it would look great, so I could put with Optimus. But other than that, like I said, this was a kind of a rare thing for me to pick up some Joe stuff, but they look great, and I wanted to get them when they were on sale. Other than that, that's it, because nothing is showing up locally.
Rob? Anything?
Was not prepared for that. Only thing I got this week was I got Monster Hunter Rise for the Switch. I'm enjoying that quite a bit, enough that I've decided I kind of need to see it on a TV screen to play it as well as I'd like. So that's going to be taken care of shortly. And beyond that, nothing, but I will probably have a bunch of stuff to talk about next week.
Awesome. Matt?
Well, much like Don, I also went G.I. Joe this week.
Ooh.
So I picked up from Shout Factory the two disc sets of the Deke
through their clearance.
G.I. Joe series. Yeah, because these are going out of print.
Nice.
So I picked up both sets of that, and I have not seen these since they originally aired, so I'm sure I'm in for a shock when I put these in.
You got to get tough.
Yo, Joe.
I have not seen that. I have not seen them either, Matt, because I remember they were opposing at the same time as Ring Raiders miniseries was running, and I have not seen them since.
Yeah. But that light week for me, that's all I got. So
okay. So actually, since you mentioned that, Rob had shared a link to Dawn for the Vehicle Voltron DVD set on Amazon. I picked that up, so we'll see how that looks. I have quite a few things. Let me jump through this. So I got Wave 2 of Kingdom Deluxes. I did open them, and I've transformed them except for Ractonite. So Huffer is okay. I mean, I like his robot mode. I like his vehicle mode okay, but I hate his transformation. There's just something about it I don't like. It's just what I hate is when you have basically cascading joints where you have to articulate a joint one way, then like just a couple millimeters away, you have another joint that you have to flip the other way to make it like almost like you're sandwiching it. And he has that up here with the cab, and I just don't like that. I never like the way that feels. So, but he's okay. Ractonite, like I said, I've not even messed with. I don't even like the way it looks. So, but once I get a chance to play with it, that'll probably change. Air-Razor, I love Air-Razor, the Beast Wars toy. There's just something about this that looks off to me. I mean, the robot mode's nice. The bird mode's okay. The transformation's okay. But she also has that whole thing going on with multiple joints that are really close together. And I just never like the way that feels.
Well, it should make the wings in bird mode really posable then, shouldn't it?
It does, yeah.
Yeah.
I have not transformed...
RC?
No, I didn't RC. I also got Ultra Magnus. I have not transformed Ultra Magnus yet, but I'm surprised how much I love the robot mode.
Yes, I think Hey Mickey actually was able to get that Ultra Magnus today also, and he was grudgingly accepting of how much he liked it.
Yeah, it's...
like he didn't want to like that, but he ended up really liking it, so that's probably a good sign for it.
It looks so much better than the Siege version.
It does. Yeah. It so does. It so does. I really like. I think it looks great. I can't wait. Can't wait to transform it. I don't hate it. I kind of hated the Siege one, and I kind of love this.
I like the cab robot on the Siege toy better for the torso design.
Yeah.
But like otherwise, the Kingdom one is so much more visually pleasing to me.
A couple boring. Okay, I'll get this one out of the way. On the most recent, I believe his most recent episode of History on the Fives, I got the wild hair saying that I would buy up all of KISS players, and I immediately regretted it. I actually was tweeting about this, my misgivings on it last week, and the Moonbase 2 Twitter dropped some knowledge on me, because this was from a period in time when I was not collecting Transformers for like a year. This was the year that I lifted weights, lost like 200 pounds, and tacked on like 70 pounds of muscle. This was, a long time ago when I still had a lot of testosterone running through my system. I just wasn't paying attention to toys. So there was just a lot going on I didn't know about. And Moonbase 2 just gave me some knowledge. It made me feel even worse about it. So I actually, if you want to read it, and it's a little graphic. It is a little graphic. So I just want to give you a warning. But I created a short URL to that Twitter thread if you want to follow it. If you want to go look at it, it's tfradio.net/kiss. But be aware that it's probably more than you want to know.
Not for the faint of heart.
Not for the faint of heart. And neither is this. Like, I don't even know how I'm going to display this thing, because I keep it in the box, because,
I can't believe
otherwise...
you're showing that on stream.
Yeah. I kind of hate it. So, but I bought it, and I've decided I'm not buying anymore. I'm not. I have one more on the way, and that's it. That's it.
What's on the way?
It's the little, is it Atari?
With the Auto Trooper?
Yeah, the little Auto Trooper. God, I want the Auto Trooper, though. It's the little Auto Trooper. Dang it, maybe I'll buy.
You don't want the cassettes?
I want the cassettes.
Okay, so KISS player's position, which is what the cassettes come from, is completely different from regular KISS players content-wise. So, that's something that you don't really need to feel so bad about. Yeah,
I want the Auto Trooper, though, so we need to go back and get it.
There is one thing, Brian, you're probably not going to be able to pick up is the release that came out after the cassettes was Takara had the small little orb transformers.
The egg bots.
It was like egg bots. Yeah, that was like the last thing they did for KISS players.
I found it. I mean,
the only set
it's expensive. It's not worth it.
Like 300.
I saw it for that. It was 500. What I saw. I'm not getting that. I'm done.
Okay.
After Auto Trooper.
I just didn't know if you knew about that.
Yeah, I know about it. Yeah,
about that part or not.
So
you could instead of KISS players, you could try picking up BinalTech Asterisk.
Yeah, I had Broad Blast or whatever it was from that already. Yeah, that's the only one of those that I had. So yeah, I could do that. I don't know. Couple boring things. I was looking to get one of these guys, Mitten Sold Box or Mitten Box, and I have not done it yet, but I did get a loose one because I didn't have it. Action Master Optimus Prime.
Ooh.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, I've wanted this for a while. He's complete, so nice shape. He's pretty, so it'll look nice on the shelf. Let's see here. A few other G1 things that I got. Dreadwind.
Okay.
Yeah. Darkwing.
Nice.
Yeah, so I got the set. Slapdash.
Duck also.
What?
Ooh.
And
that one?
Joyride. So let's see. What's
Completing
the
your
word?
Power Masters.
Yeah, what's the powering up? Whatever the phrase is.
Powering through your Power Masters.
Yeah,
book?
powering through my Power Masters. So I don't have many Power Masters left that are American that I need. So, yeah, I got those from the Sell to You too, eBay, the listener. So, that was really happy with that. So, let's see here.
Yeah,
Three
Blade
more.
Runner was thinking the same thing I was, powering up the power block.
Powering up the power block. This I actually want to talk about a little bit. So, I got this from Z75 Sales, who sells a bunch of stuff from, gosh, what was the guy's name? Jim Palmer? The Kenner employee?
Yeah, I don't remember the person's name.
Hasbro employee. So I actually have something else coming from his collection, too. But this is a beautiful, minty fresh G1 Mirage.
Oh, look at that.
It is gorgeous how clean and crisp and perfect it is.
Now be careful not to break it.
Yes. My first Transformer broke it within minutes. So the thing is, it is a perfect, beautiful, official Hasbro, non-vintage or non-1980s Mirage. This is as he believes, a production sample of one of the G1 Chinese reissues that Hasbro released in China in like 1990.
Huh.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah. So the difference is, you look at the copyright date on it. Japan has been wiped off the mold. You can't really see it in the video here, but yeah, it doesn't say Japan. Otherwise, as far as I can tell, except for I guess my others a pre-rub. Where does the rub normally go on Mirage? I thought it went at the top. This one has the rub on the bottom, the foot.
There's the rub.
Yeah. So I have another one of these on the way, not Mirage. The next one is a Soundwave, and I'll show it off next week. So it'll be a beautiful, minty, fresh G1 Soundwave.
Not of the 80s.
Not of the 80s. Actually, that's one...
really interesting, actually.
Yeah, that one... Well, so the speculation from Z75 Sales is that the Soundwave is another production sample. It was with the Chinese G1 stuff, but I believe that the Japan is not struck off the mold, so it's like a pre-production or something. So, but again, beautiful, minty, fresh. It'll go in plastic.
Important question. What kind of cassette door does the Soundwave have?
It has the original.
That's really interesting because we had thought that when they did
That was
Sound
permanent
Blaster
change,
in
yeah.
87.
It sure looks like the original me. Let me go back. I made a point to look at it, but I don't want to misstate. Where are you? Here we go. Yep, that is sure flush with the front of the toy.
So I mean, the possibility here too is that this might not that Soundwave specifically may not necessarily be a color test shot for a new production for Chinese reissues. It might just be like one that they had on hand from the original run.
That is possible speculation that they had it in the office as a reference.
Yeah.
And it does not. Yeah. So, but either way, it's a nice, beautiful G1 Soundwave to go with my collection of G1 Soundwaves that I have now, because I have to have more of these than Ant does.
I would still really like the Soundwave to be the same thing that Mirage is, just because it makes the whole history of the Soundwave mold more interesting, because that flush cassette door apparently would have still existed at some point after Sound Blaster was made.
Yeah, I think so. After Ant has his collection like completely done, I think we're going to do a count to see who has more Soundwaves. I'm pretty sure it's him, but I got my fingers crossed that I'm going to have more.
So Rick Mahurin, I hope I did not mispronounce your name too badly.
That's how I say it in my head.
In the Discord, that Soundwave has been reissued with the single cassette door after the Toys R Us reissue came out in 2006. So yeah, that they did, but that's because they actually recreated that flush chest door mold element for that purpose, instead of only having the Sound Blaster version available.
Yeah.
They've done that for a lot of the G1 reissues, recreated missing parts. That's supposedly one reason the Walmart Optimus Prime reissue was so expensive and did not have its trailer. And also when they did Platinum Edition G1 Triptychon several years prior, like they said they had to recreate like 20 separate mold elements for that toy to be able to produce it again. So yeah, absolutely. They have reissued Soundwaves with a flush cassette door since the Classics packaging reissue that was a Toys R Us exclusive. But that's from remade mold elements, not the original.
Yeah.
And you can tell by the fact that the hinges are on the single cassette door are the same as Sound Blasters. They're visible from the front, whereas the original Soundwave figures are not.
Yeah.
So
yeah, the remade one has the external hinges, just like it was a double cassette door.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's possible it's possible the other thing that happened here as to why we always get them like that is that only the Sound Blaster mold survived. It's just there could have been two separate molds, not just one that was permanently altered, and just that's the only one that made it to the present day.
I mean, that's certainly a valid theory too.
Yeah,
I got nothing else. That's it. That's all.
Cool. Two more things. This one I'll just share this one off real quick. I've been collecting Transformers laser discs. The only thing left there are some Beast Wars laser discs, a Maximal and a Predacon set, and I think there's the animated series Laserdisc, which I don't really care about. This is the only one that was actually released in the US that I'm aware of. It's 5 Faces of Darkness.
Cool.
Yeah. It's pretty. I
had no idea there were FHE Laserdiscs.
Yep. So,
I love the completely random artwork on the front of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's like I think they took the Quintesson face from one of the Ladybird storybooks, just based on the
Looks
style
like
of it, and then they slapped some box art over top of it.
Yeah. And I will say of all the things I've got recently, I'm not. That's the thing
that was
that
the
I
most
paid.
Human?
That was it was the most human. Like of all the things that I got over the last few weeks, that was the one that I paid the most for. That even though like you wouldn't necessarily think that, I got it at a bargain compared to what I've seen it go for before. Otherwise, I wouldn't have jumped on it. But it's still
That's also like an extremely piece of merchandise because it's a G1 laser disc by FHE, and like we all know, like you're all about the family home entertainment.
Yeah.
Home video releases.
Yeah,
like,
I love that stuff.
That's perfect. That is perfectly Kilby.
Yeah. And I mentioned this last week, but I'll show it off anyway. So I got that Shockwave Galactic Man figure. It was a little rough. I got one at the same time that was, again, substantially less than I expected to pay. This one's Mitten Box.
That box is in great shape.
Box is in great shape. But even better, the toy on the inside has never, as far as I can tell, has never been touched by a human being.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So here's the manual. The manual is beautiful. I mean, the manual is so clean.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And on the back, because it's Radio Shack, you have the circuit diagram for the toy on it.
Nice.
Yeah, but the toy itself is still in the baggie, tied up.
Dang.
Yeah. And the bag has a twist tie holding it in place. This is less than what I paid for my loose G1 Shockwave. And I would much rather have this than Shockwave.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah. So I'm super excited about having this. Yeah, it's gorgeous and it's never being touched. It's just going to be a nice display piece. So I'm all about getting things for less than I think they should go for. I don't want to overspend on anything.
Yes.
So very, very pleased with that.
That's very normal, Brian.
Very normal. Yeah. Yeah. So
It's basically what Don has built his entire life on.
it is. But like a lot of these things are kind of, oh gosh, I'm not going to say what I'm bidding on right now.
Good. That's probably a good idea.
But it's something that it's the first time I've come across it in ever. And it's been on my search list for like 3 years. So fingers crossed, hopefully I'll be talking about it next week. So if nobody else like outbids me on it, so we'll see.
You know, I've been looking recently and have been surprised to find that out of all things, the Armada recolor of Transmetal Cheetor is like dumbly expensive and rare.
Really?
I forgot it existed.
There's single digits of them on eBay and they all go pretty high. I've been ideally wanting to find a loose one in good condition, but like it just does not seem to be possible to do.
I was outbid on an Armada Unicron, the repaint, the Energon Unicron, not the Armada version in Unicron in Energon packaging today.
Yeah.
It goes for more than I would have thought.
Yeah, I mean, I can understand a little bit more because they did put the Armada colors in the Energon packaging for part of that initial fulfillment. Like some places just didn't get the black Unicron. So I can see that being a little bit rarer to get just because there weren't as many to go around.
Yeah, I need to go back. I don't even remember that Armada. Was he called Cheetor, or was it like Megatron where he had a different name?
No, it was just Cheetor.
Do
They
not
did
remember that.
Cheetor, Rhinox, and Air Razor.
Oh, yeah, I remember that. Oh, man.
Yeah.
I may not have that. I need to go through my collection to see if I have that. I don't know if I do or not.
That is probably one of the few things I can ever say that I have that you don't, and probably not for long.
I don't. No, I gotta go through my stuff to see if I have it.
I don't think Kilby's going to pay $70 for a carded Armada Cheetor.
Probably not. No.
Depends on how much ribbing I get over the next few weeks. So no.
At B Kilby on Twitter, everyone.
At B Kilby on Twitter. Hey, let's see here. Let's go ahead and thank our patrons at the touch tier. You can. It's the end of the month, so if you want to sign up now, meaning early April is the time to do it. You will be in for the whole month. And if you're a touched patron, you can get on our History on the Fives podcast, which is a lot of fun. Enjoy doing that. We record it weekly, and it's an exclusive podcast for patrons. So we talk about what's going on in history on the 5 years. So,
and you'll get a chance to directly goad Kilby into spending money.
It has worked. Yeah. So our patrons at the touch tier, Kevin Dorsey, Ryan Bona, Cheesy Patty, Emmett Stresovich, Rabbits, Hector Bones, Matthew Dedman, Jonathan James, Nathan Sampy, Ness, Joey Russell, who got his Unicron yesterday, Jason Hiley, Mike Mallory, Jason W. Rye, Sean Hamilton, Jacob Owen Lucia, Sean Bratton, Spider Bob, Mighty Orbots, and Nitaku 117. So thank you all so much, and thanks to all our patrons too. You literally make everything possible. You're awesome. Let's see here. You can find us basically everywhere. All our links and stuff are at tfradio.net. But I will say, if you're listening to the show on any given platform and you're just sitting around, leave us a review, please. If you haven't yet, if you've been listening now for like the last 10 or 12 years and you haven't left a review, just, do it. I'm not going to lie and say it helps us like in the search algorithms because I don't think really it does. But people are more likely to listen to a podcast that has reviews, positive reviews, than one that doesn't. So, well, we would appreciate it. Whether that's Spotify, Audible, iTunes, whatever the heck you're listening on, that would be great. I am on Twitter at bkilby. I tweet a lot there. I'm on Instagram at Brian Kilby. I haven't posted anything recently because honestly, my phone died and I have no idea what my password is, so I got to get back in. So, but I am posting. I'm posting about the dog a lot though from his account. Let's see here. Rob Springer's not here. I'm going to continue to mention Rob.
Hi, Rob.
Hey, Rob. Rob Springer, and he's also at zonebase.org. People are like,
He
who's Rob Springer?
he also just had a birthday the other day.
Yeah,
so
happy birthday,
belated
Rob.
birthday, Rob.
Happy birthday, Rob.
Yeah, it's been so many years since Rob's been on the podcast. People are like, who's Rob? He's Rob. Go back and listen to old episodes. He's there. Let's see here.
He is Rob Springer. He is the oncoming storm.
Speaking of storms,
Rob Springer is the fire in which we burn.
his house narrowly missed being hit by a tornado. The photo, like his neighborhood was really wrecked. So fortunately, he was spared. But man, it's crazy, and that's not that far from here. So, Chris, how do people get a hold of you?
I'm personally on Twitter at ChrisRTXV. I can't think of anything notable I've done there this week, so follow me at your own risk, I suppose. For toy photography stuff, I just today finally installed my second studio strobe in my shooting area and posted a photo of Kingdom Ultra Magnus, which turned out pretty well, actually. You can find that on Twitter at playwithphotos. I'm also on Instagram at instagram.com/playwithphotography. All of the organized work I do is at playwithphotography.com, which is galleries and blog posts, things like that. If you want to support what I'm doing, help me out, keep doing more of it, I'm on Patreon at patreon.com/playwithphotos. You can help out for as little as $2 per month.
Cool. Diecast.
You can follow me on Twitter at Diecast2. You can like my Facebook page at Reviews by Diecast, and you can see all my reviews at tfradio.net/reviews.
John.
That John D everywhere, including Twitch. So I'm not guaranteeing that I will start streaming again, but I am saying that I'm cleaning up my Twitch page. So if you follow me on Twitch at that John D, maybe one of these days you'll get a notification that I've started a stream.
What would you stream if you were streaming something?
Street Fighter?
Maybe, yeah, probably some Street Fighter. Maybe if I finally finish the Final Fantasy VII remake, might do that. And then I have
How many years are you playing that now?
Not that long.
It's only been out. It's been out for less than a year, right?
Yeah. It's since I've been playing it since the day it came out. I'm like 3 hours in. Anyway, so yeah, a few random video games like that, and then possibly like live random toy reviews or something, or unboxings, and you can do anything on Twitch under the just chatting category. So I might just chat with people as I unbox something. You never know.
It'd be fun. Don.
I can be reached on Twitter at HMRC, the number 4 EVR.
Rob.
I can be found on Twitter at Figure Reviewers and Rob Flails. Rob Flails is the Twitter for Flailthroughs, my YouTube channel. I cover Gundam Battle Operation 2, a free-to-play Gundam shooter, which is just moving into Char's counterattack territory. We got the Jagan this last week. I'm guessing the Gyaradoga for this week, but that's just a guess. But we are moving forward into more interesting and powerful mobile suits. So come check it out if you want to see what the game looks like. If you like what I'm doing at youtube.com/flailthroughs, you can also go to patreon.com/flailthroughs and throw money at me to do it. I will do it regardless, but the money is very much appreciated. And if you don't feel like doing either of those things, then there's just tfradio.net/playlist.
Cool. Wow. we're at the end of the show. We went for quite a while this week, so thank you all for being here, and we'll see you next week.
Bye, everybody.
Later.
Diecast going to bed, I bet.
Good night, Diecast.
Bye,
Take care.
everybody. Good night.
Dream of my Unicron.
Bye, Diecast.
I can't actually touch it.
Well, you're not supposed to touch it. Not yet. You gotta wait 30 days.
Ant and I got into a huge discussion over this on Twitter.
Really?
But it was all private. It was all in a DM.
Oh. So none of us can go and actually look and see what you said.
No.
Okay.
Actually, no.
No.
Go to bed,
We're still
Diecast.
recording.
Go to bed. Yeah.
I was gonna ask Brian something about
Yes, we're still recording.
Okay, I
Yeah.
can stop recording. You're gonna okay. Hey, people watching live, we had a long show. We'll just see you next week, okay? You're awesome. We love you. Okay, goodbye. Oops, I hit the wrong thing. Bye Facebook, bye Twitch, bye